Okay, here we go.
Here we go. All right, I'm gonna start letting people in. Here we go. Terry's on. Oh, good. Hey guys. Hello, everyone.
Oh, let me switch to that.
Make sure that you turn your mute off if you can hear me, but I can't hear you. It's because your mute is on.
Everybody's muted.
Yeah, I said it that way because I have everybody muted when they first come in case somebody's in the middle of a conversation. I didn't want that to break into the middle of us talking. So I automatically mute people as they come in, just, just because.
Feel free
to go ahead. What?
Feel free to unmute, y'all.
Yeah, you can unmute and you can ask questions at any time, just as long as you're not like talking over Linda. We're good. And I'm also recording. So I just opened a YouTube channel for us this last week. So it's just really, it's at YouTube, it's Drummer Girls United. And I've only uploaded 2 of the videos because before, as soon as I would start the meeting, it would start recording. And now I'm having to go back and edit out just saying hi to everybody before it starts and talking to the artists afterwards, because sometimes they gave me their address so I could send them a t-shirt. I want that all edited out. So now I'm kind of figuring out how to do this. Anyway, so that's why they're not all uploaded yet, but that'll get done this week. So with no further things, I'm going to say hi to Linda McDonald, our artist spotlight person this week. And we're just going to get started with, how did you get started with drumming?
I got started way back when I was like 7 years old or so. I started playing piano. I kind of followed my sister's footsteps. She started on piano. She did acoustic guitar, and I did all of that for a little while. I did a little bit of violin in elementary school, but I love the melodies. I love all that. I learned how to read some music that way. But eventually, when I got into high school, you just kind of want something a little bit more. I had enough of the pretty music. I wanted to go and get aggressive and start playing drums. Basically, I was a bad girl at school, and I got sent home for a few days. And I did my brother's record collection, and I found Iron Maidens' live album, Made in Japan. And I popped that on, and I was just blown away at the energy in that album. And it was a live recording. And back in those days, they didn't punch in and punch out. There were no, we'll clean it up later and that, especially for drummers live. Right. You can't like fix that stuff. And they were so tight, and the energy was it just resonated with me. And I wanted to learn how to deliver that kind of energy. And I wanted to play drums just like that. And little did I know how many years later I was going to be in a tribute band to Iron Maiden, like 15 years later. I had no idea. But
and what's the name of your band? We're going to come back to it, but what's the name of your band?
My main gig now, and we are actually on our 20th anniversary year, if you could believe that, for a tribute band, is called the Iron Maidens. And we are the world's only female tribute to Iron Maiden.
I love that. And you guys are awesome, by the way.
Thank you. And prior to that, I was in an original band called Phantom Blue. And we were like the first all-female band and only all-female band that was ever signed to Mike Varney's Shrapnel Records, who is known for all those crazy, insane guitar players and whatnot. So it was an honor and to be on.
Yeah. Awesome. You said you kind of got started in high school. You knew the direction you wanted to go as far as your music.
I did.
After high school, did you go to school for any kind of music training, or did you hire an instructor, or did you just kind of learn by ear? How did that come about?
Well, I started out learning by ear, and I don't know if anyone else. Well, back when I'm an old woman here. We had to learn with records. You know, you had to get up and literally move that needle and that kind of stuff, or with a cassette, you know, CDs weren't even out yet.
Right.
So I learned by ear. And high school, I'm pretty shy and whatnot. I just never felt like I fit in high school. I mean, there were some nice people there. I had some friends, but I just always felt like odd man out. I didn't want to go to college. Once I got out of high school, I was done. So my parents, they really wanted me to go to college, and I just asked if I could take a year off. Just let me take a year off. And I ended up going to the Musicians Institute for the summer session. And so I got a taste of a lot of different things crammed into like 8 weeks. And that was a lot of fun. I was in a trio, an original band. I always seem to be in these all-girl projects. Maybe that's my calling. Who knows?
Maybe.
But the other girls were going to the year-long program in Musicians Institute. So I just went in and I did the summer session and that kind of stuff. I took some private lessons later on with Scott Travis, who is now, he was the drummer for Racer X. And later on, well, now he's the drummer for Judas Priest and stuff. He's got some wicked double bass tops. And
fantastic.
He's 7.5 feet tall. It was quite a comedy show because I would go for lessons at his studio. I'm about 5'1", and he's like 6 foot something. So I'd sit it, and literally his snare was up to here. And forget about the cymbals. I couldn't even reach those. So it was pretty funny. We raised the seat, and I would be standing up, standing up so I could play.
That's fantastic. I love that. Okay, so after you had lessons, you went to Music Institute. How long after that, and practice on your own, I'm sure, did you land a band situation?
I started in my first band in my senior year in high school.
Okay.
So that was the band that I was in when I went to MI. And then after MI, the band split up pretty shortly after that. And I went to a school that is not here anymore called the Dick Grove School of Music. And I went and I took harmony and theory classes, just more classes not related to drums, because I wanted to learn how to connect and be able to express myself with guitar players and bass players and other musicians, like, you know, this type of chord progression, or this is what I want to hear, or, you know, ear training and all that. But then I also took a drum set styles class there as well. And nice. After that, about all the instruction that I had.
It sounds like you had a really good base though, for information, like a well-rounded base as a drummer.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of bands, as you know, a lot of girls in our Drummer Girls United group, professional musicians, and all of their gigs were taken away 2020. So what has that meant for your band? Have you just done practicing? Have you done online concerts? What have you guys been doing for the last year?
Gosh, it's already been a year, hasn't it?
It has.
Wow. Hi, Rachel. Since COVID began, we pretty much, like everyone else, we lost about 99% of our gigs. You know, we had a 5-week tour of Europe lined up. We had a 2-week tour of Australia, and a whole time, we were really, really, really busy. So needless to say, they've all been rescheduled a few times so far. Eventually they'll stick, so we'll take it, right? In the downtime, we actually did a live stream with the Monsters of Rock cruise. Since the cruise got canceled, they have a big studio, and they've been doing live streams with different bands throughout this whole COVID time period. And I think you can still find clips of it on YouTube and whatnot. We did that. We did a show in Long Beach at the Gas Lamp. Our friend owns that place. And it was a really interesting situation. We played inside, and he live streamed it out into the parking lot where they had outdoor dining. And
nice.
There you go. So that was really cool. And the other show we did, we actually flew into, where was it? I think it was in Kentucky, or no, it was in Illinois. I don't remember now. But we did a show at a Harley Davidson event.
Fun.
So it was on a stage, and it was totally social distanced, and it was totally safe, and it was so fun. But it's been so long now, and I'm just itching to get back out there again.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I'm sure
absolutely.
All of you are.
Yes, so much. I've had some friends that I've had on, and they have actually done concerts at drive-ins. I haven't done that.
Crazy. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's crazy.
So everybody's sitting in their cars watching a concert. That is just the craziest thing to me. If you had told me we'd be doing that a year ago, I would have laughed at you, but that's our reality right now.
I know, right?
Yes.
I wish I could do one of those now.
I know that. I think that would be really fun. Okay. So you have tours coming up. What about albums? Any music planned to go into the studio? Anything like that?
With this band, we actually did. There is a market for tribute bands, as Rachel is a tribute band too. And they want to hear you performing the songs of the band that you're paying tribute to, which is a mystery to me, but you know what? They want to hear you do it. That's why they come to the show and they relive all these moments, but they want to hear you do it. So they've asked and requested us to do a CD. So we actually have it recorded. Now we're just trying to find the right person to mix it.
Nice.
Linda, I have a question for you about that.
Yes.
How do you guys, like, and did you get like special permission from Iron Maiden for like licensing to do that? Or how are you able to do that?
You know what? You just go to the Harry Fox online and you just register how many, if you're going to actually print CDs, and you have to pay the royalties.
Yeah.
So go ahead and you register for how many copies and whatnot. And
I might hit you up later and pick your brain further about this.
Absolutely.
That was a good question. In fact, that's what I was going to ask next if you hadn't asked that. Okay, so the next question I had, I noticed on your social media, you have lots of really tight endorsements. Do you want to talk about that, how that all came about in your companies?
Oh, sure. Let's start with Peisty.
Yes.
Peisty Symbols. Back before I was really, in any established situation, I didn't have any record deals or anything yet. I knew that Peisty Symbols was the sound that I wanted. It's a sound that I love. My brother, bless his soul, when I got my first drum kit, it didn't have cymbals. So I was just hitting the stand by itself until Christmas. Right. He got me cymbals. I mean, he got me hi-hats. And they were a brand that I wasn't that crazy about, and I put them on and they sounded like I was hitting metal. It just wasn't musical. It wasn't what I heard on the records that I liked, and everyone that I liked their sound played Peisty. So he returned them. And we applied those funds towards some actual Peisty. I went to the music store and I just ordered I had a Peisty artist book, and I just ordered exactly what Clive Burr from Iron Maiden had, because that's what I wanted to sound like.
Nice.
And so anyway, I guess I was kind of a basher. I probably had poor technique. I probably had the cymbals angled all wrong. So I was going through those things left and right. Finally, I couldn't afford to replace them anymore. So I picked up the phone and I called Peisty and I said, can you please help me? And they had me come out, and in Brea, they have the factory in Brea. And they said that they were still in warranty, so they would swap them out for me. And when it was done, they would, set me up with a nice price, and I'd get a new one and that kind of stuff. So they took care of me for a while. When I finally got signed to Shrapnel Records with my band, in the US, it was Shrapnel. In Europe and the rest of the world, it was on Roadrunner Records. And they did a great job promoting. Shrapnel did not.
Okay, got it.
So we toured Europe a lot. And we were on MTV and all that stuff. And I broke my cymbals while we were on tour in Europe, go figure. So I called my Paiste rep, and he hooked me up with the Paiste people out in Switzerland, because we were in Europe. And they came to our shows. And they actually brought me some prototype cymbals of what is now the Signature Series. And they let me use those at the concert. And after that show, I've never had so many people come and ask me, what were you using? What were those cymbals? And the agent was there, and the rep was there. He was just smiling. And those were what is now the Signature Series. And
nice.
So when we got home from that tour, make a long story short, I broke another cymbal, and I went into Paiste, and Rich was the guy there, Rich Mangiacaro, and he took me to the back at his desk, and he just said, you know, I think it's about time. The company wanted me to give you this, and he put a contract in front of my face.
Nice.
To become an artist. I was like, you're kidding me. That's how that one happened. The rest are a little bit shorter of stories, but so I've been a Paiste endorser for almost 31 years now.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. DW drums, they were a little trickier. I love DW drums. This was back in the day when we'd go to NAMM every year, and you just go and you would network. You would do a lot of face-to-face. There was no such thing as social media then. And I would go to John Good, and every year he's like, how's it going? And, you know, like, what does it take to get behind you guys? I mean, what does it take? He said, you know, you have to have a record label. So I told him that we had Shrapnel, and he said, well, a little bit, you have to have a major label. So the next year we got bought out off of Shrapnel onto Geffen Records. So I went back the next year and I said, how's this? We're on Geffen now. He said, give me a call next week.
That's fantastic.
So he did. And that happened there. Vic Firth was awesome. I've been playing Vic Firth for like 30 years also. Fantastic. I absolutely love them. They don't slip out of my hands like some of the others. Are really comfortable. You know, they good sound, little hands, great sticks. They're adorable. Fantastic. I love them. Aquarian drum heads is also, they're my newest. You've got Remo. That's not easy to do.
Yeah.
But Aquarian drum heads, I absolutely love them. They're my newest one. I'm still like finding which heads I like the best. That new. And Humes and Berg, of course, drum cases.
Yes, those are amazing. When I do my next thing, it'll probably be November is the next thing that I've actually got on the books, because I don't know when things are going to be safe, but I'm going to be teaching another women's drum camp. So I'm going to be ordering some Humes cases for that, so I can take some of my things with me.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. I'll let them know that you sent me there.
Yeah. Do you know Mike Berg?
I've met him and we're friends on Facebook, but I've never really talked to him face to face that I know of. So.
Okay. Maybe I could do an official introduction.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk later about that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
You've done a ton of concerts, but does one stand out, like your most fun concert that you can think of that you did, some really fun performance?
You know, fun? Oh my God, they're all fun.
Well, of course.
I know that's such a cliche answer, but everyone is just super, super fun. I can tell you one of the most memorable ones.
Okay.
Was when we were asked to go out to Iraq. And this is when things were really, really hot and really bad. They had us actually go out there on the 4th of July. And it was pretty scary. Yeah. I mean, we did, we played at the FOBs, the small little bases, not only the big ones where we would take Black Hawk helicopters out to, and we actually got shot at, and we saw people coming right at us, and it was scary. I was sitting right behind the guy with the machine gun, and I could hear to the left. They said 9 o'clock, and he turns around. Oh my God, it was so scary.
That's insane.
I got a little bit of shrapnel burn on my arm from that.
What?
As a little memory.
Now that's a war story that you can tell. That's something. Yes. Oh my Lord.
We did the shows for the people there, the soldiers and all that, and just the gratitude, the thanks, that it just brought a tear to all of our eyes, because the thing most of them said was, thank you for making us forget where we were for 1 hour.
That's fantastic.
And afterwards, before we did the shows, before we did anything, we were briefed not to ask any questions, but to listen to all the people. And they said that they're going to dump a lot of stories on you. And they did. It was so heavy and hard and so personal. And you hear a lot of stories about the war out there, and it's not what the television shows you at all.
Yeah.
But that was the most memorable thing. You know, I will never, ever forget that.
Oh, certainly. And thank you guys for doing that. That was important.
You know, we kind of thought we would be real a-holes for saying no, because we have a choice to go, but most of them did not have a choice to go.
Correct.
So we had to say
it. Good for you. Good for you. We've got such good people in our group. I'm so proud of all of you. Okay. Artists that you've worked with, or an artist that you are really wanting to work with?
Oh God, I would love to be the drummer for Pink.
Oh, well, yeah.
That stuff would be so fun to play.
So much. Yes, I agree. That's if somebody has asked me that in an interview, and that was the first thing that I said was for Pink. But you know, her drummer, and I can't think of his name off the top of my head. We're both artists for Sledgepad, so I know him by proxy. What was that?
Mark Schulman.
Yes, Mark Schulman. Yes, and he's got that gig sewed up. He's been with her for a long, long time. They've been doing those tours together. He's so good. It's just so much fun to watch all of that. But yeah, she's got some amazing music, and her voice is like no other.
Yeah, her voice. Oh my gosh.
It's incredible. Incredible. So can you, well, before I get to that, do you guys that have been sitting patiently waiting while I'm talking to Linda, do you guys have some questions for her? Because she's got some stories I'm sure she would be happy to share.
This is really enjoyable. So, I mean, I don't really have any questions, and you and I chatted, and we kind of questioned each other. So, but this is just really cool. And I don't have any specific questions right now, but I'm just enjoying what you guys are putting out there. It's all good. So.
That's awesome.
Thank you. And you get to be one of the guests here coming up.
Yeah.
That's going to be really fun. Yeah, I'm actually already booking into March and now April because it's starting to fill up. So I'm really excited. You guys have been so wonderful to agree to do this. This is my, my sophomore run. I'm trying to figure this out. This is my second month. So, so you guys are very patient.
Yeah, great. I mean, it's a great community building thing,
It is. Because we see each other on social media and we think we kind of know what their life might be like. And, like we see Emmanuel Keplet, and we see Annika, and we see Sinri, and we see Sarah Thayer, but we really don't know them very well, right? Unless we are just buddies and we talk to each other. We just kind of watch through social media, but getting to hear your stories and kind of some of your background and some of your plans for the future and how can we stay in touch and find your music and find your concerts. That's going to be really important for us to support each other, which is what I'm all about, 100%. How do we support each other better? And this is one of those things. These Zoom sessions started last year when COVID hit. We couldn't, I had planned several clinics to go across the United States. I was going to be a clinician. I was going to invite other clinicians from our group to be part of it. And we were going to travel the States and do some clinics. That all got canceled. And I know that some of the gals in the group, a lot of the gals were touring musicians and were very steadily working. And now all of a sudden that was ripped out from under them. And some of them live alone and they were depressed, and I just didn't know what to do. So I thought, what if we just meet once a week and I can just check in on everybody, and they can see each other at least in some way, and we can talk and make sure that everybody's okay and get to know each other better. And it's just that sense of trying to build community. Yeah. And then this year I thought, why don't I do something that's kind of like an artist spotlight? And I'm not necessarily picking the ones that are the most famous artists that everybody knows, but the ones that I am coming across that I think people need to know this person. And honestly, I wish I could spotlight every single person in our group, because every single person in our group has something to teach us all. And eventually, maybe we'll get to that. I'm going to start going through the list. There's only 6,400 of us. So that's a lot of Zoom sessions. But,
and that's right now, it's going to grow.
It is going to grow. And with the thing on YouTube, if you guys have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, I mean, there's only 2 videos up, but eventually it's going to be filling up quickly. And I want you guys to please feel free to subscribe to that, to share it to other social media platforms so that other people can get to know our artists. Because as you know, in this male dominated industry there's lots of misogyny and, I don't know, sort of a glass ceiling for us within the industry. I think we need to shine a light on our female drummer sisters as much as possible. I get an opportunity to have this platform, you know, being in magazines and doing some things that I get to do. And I just want so much for the world to get to know you guys. So I just thought, if this is another way I can do that, then I'm willing to do it.
Thank you.
It's a very safe platform for anyone who might be a little bit nervous or sheepish, you know, in other drum forums where there's a lot of guys there that, you know,
yes,
just kind of squash on you because you're just a girl. And
I see some of the most disgusting things. I mean, besides the fact that if you watch a guy drummer, no one is saying, oh man, he's either too fat or he's too old or he's not sexy enough in that outfit or whatever, right? But how many times do we see that about female drummers? I'm 56 next week, and I get told, well, this is the last one that I heard on one of my videos was, you don't look like you sound, which I think I don't know how to take that, except that
I'm thinking of somebody,
and I saw somebody writing to one of their buddies, grandma knows how to play or something. I'm not a grandma, but okay. But just you wouldn't say that to Peter Erskine, who is, I don't know, how old is he? 60s, 70s? No one says that about a male player that's good. But for females, we don't only have to be as good, but we have to be younger, we have to be thinner, we have to be prettier, we have to be more well-connected. I mean, it's just crazy. And I'm trying to break some of that crap down so that it can be more of a level playing field for everybody. I don't expect the doors to swing wide open just because we're female, but if it could just be the same level of respect that we give our male players, that's what I'm hoping to achieve.
I think you're going to do it because we are all here and we're real. So the fact that more people keep coming, which I'm totally blown away how many there are already. Like, they've been around. Why did we never know this? You know, it's so bizarre to me. And, you know, the more that come, the more we support each other, and then the more other people support us. And so eventually I think those barriers they won't have any power anymore.
Exactly right. That that verbiage was perfect, because it is about power, and we're taking that away by the camaraderie that we have, and that we've made a completely safe and encouraging place within the group. But now it's really not just about Facebook, because I'm starting to put it on YouTube. I'm putting it on Instagram. I'm going to be doing a lot of things to try to get us just outside of social media even. I want it to be more of a community and not just dependent on social media. This is one way for us to do that, but I really want us to have meetups. I want us to have, somebody suggested yesterday, which I've never thought about it, but it's a possibility, who knows, about us having even state chapters and country chapters where people there can start having meetups, and I can just kind of fly around and be part of all of that. I don't know how the logistically or legally or any of that way that all is going to work, but I'm willing to do it if there's enough interest in it.
That can totally work.
Yeah.
So if anybody knows anything about how to make those kinds of things happen, I am a dork with sticks. I don't know how to do all these things, but I'm willing to try to figure it out. So if somebody knows way more than I do about this stuff, please feel free to join my leadership team and help me make this happen. So.
Well, I got to commend you on what you've done thus far, because bringing all the girls together, it is instantly dispelling the novelty of a female drummer, which is great. So then we could actually be judged as a drummer or viewed as a drummer instead of like a novelty item. You know?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly right. Because even now, I even see myself when I see like a commercial. A lot of times the commercials, they're starting to put females behind the drums in commercials now, because it does cause you to pay attention. It is still, I notice myself going, hey, that's a girl drummer. I wouldn't say that if that was a guy drummer, right? But it is still kind of novel. But so in that way, I guess it's good in a way because it gets us noticed, but we have to have the chops to stay noticed.
True. I always thought it was cool to have a commercial for an antiperspirant of a girl drummer just
out here doing it.
And, you know, still smelling like a woman.
There you go. I love it.
I feel like I've seen that, actually.
I love it.
Maybe it's just so good. I think I've seen it.
You've seen it in your mind.
Yeah. Things to come if it hasn't happened already.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's great. Just, like for me, this group has shown like how many girls there are out there that play drums. Like when I moved to LA in '98, when I was a young kid, like the only girl drummers in town were you, Linda, and Athena. Yeah, there weren't many. Like it was like every year, Rock City News Awards, Linda and Athena, you know. And then so, and then Yale busted on the scene for a while. Yeah, and she's an amazing, great player. But it's like now there's like lots of girls. It's like it's I don't know. It's just becoming more the norm instead of the exception, and I love that, and it's really cool. Yeah. So
and you know, yesterday or 2 days ago, whenever I put that list up of top countries that we have our members, and then top cities, and LA has like 150 that are in our group, something close to that, which I was blown away by because I didn't realize we had so many. So definitely when we do a clinic, that is going to be one of my spots because we have so many people that might attend already, you know, as clinicians and as people that could just come and be part of it.
Or spread the word.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Sherry or Danny, or anyone that's here, do you guys have questions for Linda?
I do. Yeah, ahead, I do. Hi, Linda. Thanks for being here. My question for you is, as a touring drummer, it's like my dream. So, and I want to know what do I need to do to like physically, strength-wise and everything because I imagine you'd be playing like multiple shows a week, and how do you just stay like strong and stay in shape and keep everything so that it's working without pain? And
that's a great question.
And you know, you have to stay hydrated. Usually before we know we're going to go on a long tour, I really hit the gym and the cardio especially a lot. Just be like you're training for a marathon, really. Depending on the kind of music that you're playing, because I'm playing metal, so it's a lot of energy, and sometimes we play almost 2 hours. We've tried to cut that back to about an hour and a half now, because it's when you're doing 5 nights in a row, which is our maximum, it can really take a toll on you. Just you've got to try to rest as much as you can. Watch what you're dieting, good foods, not junk foods, and just practice your set that you're going to be playing. you don't have to practice hard all the time, but you have to develop endurance.
Mm-hmm.
You have to develop endurance and try not to overplay when you are playing live.
Yeah. Can I make a comment about that?
Mm-hmm.
It's something you can find on the internet, and I loved it when this came out, because as drummers, we always get the blunt of the drooling jokes and all that stuff. all the drummer jokes, and I'm like, ha ha ha, that's so funny. Ha, I love it. Okay. So when this finally came out, and I used to say, you guys are just jealous, okay? Because we're actually the smartest of all of you, but it's okay, we love you anyway. But so when this thing came out, you can find it on the internet. It's been proven that rock drummers are the ultimate athletes on the planet. So you and Tommy Lee, like real rock drummers are the ultimate athletes.
You're athletes. They said, statistically, I'm a stat freak, lead vocalists and drummers of hard rock metal bands exert equivalent energy and calorie as a professional NFL football player.
Wow.
So that's
impressive.
There you go.
I signed Thomas Lang as an artist at Monster, and the way I pitched it to my CEOs was that he has turned drumming into an extreme sport. He's an extreme, especially the way he drums. It's just inhuman. But his dad was actually an Olympian athlete. So he trained under those thoughts of like that's just like how like he was raised to work that way, of like training like an athlete behind the drums, and it shows. He's insane.
I hope that answers some questions for you, Sherry. Just train you have to endurance train.
If I could add to that as well, like also if you're getting ready for a tour, protect your body. So like, if you're out on the road and you're like hauling your own gear and you don't have a tech, that's a lot of physical labor, and it's easy to injure yourself doing things other than drumming, because when we drum, we tend to like, if we've been taught right and if we're conscious, we tend to be very ergonomic in how we play. So we're protecting our arms and we're using good form, but you might not be using good form when you're trying to load a half stack into the back of a van. And so you end up
heavy suitcase.
Yeah. I remember coming off of a cockpit tour and being in the best shape of my life from just loading and unloading all the gear night after night with 3 other girls. But like really just like, I mean, as Linda knows, and I've been through it as well, like injuries suck and they take a long time to rehab and heal. And so you just really want to protect those muscles and like physically prepare yourself for that endurance so you don't injure yourself, and be conscious when you do other things that aren't drumming, because that's where like, I mean, I injured my arm not drumming, carrying suitcases. So it put me out for a year.
Yep.
Thank you for that, Rachel.
Thank you.
Europe. We were trying to be really good. So 3 days a week, all of us girls, we'd get off the bus, go into the venue, and we all brought yoga mats, and we all did these the P90X stuff, ab ripper X.
Oh, yeah.
The sit-ups 3 times a week, no matter what. We did it for every week for 5 weeks. So that was the one time on tour none of us gained weight. and some of the other girls, while I was doing the sound check, because sometimes drums take a really long time depending on the sound guy, they would actually do a workout while I was doing that. And sometimes they wanted to wait. They said, do you want to do the workout with us? But I didn't think it was wise, because it'd be doing 2 workouts a day.
Yeah.
With the set that we were going to do. So
I was going to say, you're getting ready to work out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the other thing, you have to pace yourself.
Yep, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Good information, you guys. Thank you so much. This is going to help.
So smart.
Yeah, see, I knew this all along. But for the people that are going to be able to watch this post, this is really going to be good information especially for our new drummers or drummers that are almost to the point where they're going to be touring. This is going to be really eye-opening for them, I think, and helpful. So thank you.
I would also don't forget to warm up. If you can, it is really important to warm up.
Okay, well, let's talk about that.
What do you do for warm up? Yeah. What does your warm up look like?
What's that?
what does your warm up look like? Like, what do you mean by that?
Either if you can bring a little, like a small pad, a drum. I have a tiny one that I bring with me on the road. It's only about a pound, so it doesn't add that much. Bring that, and just, you know, you don't have to do anything fancy, even if it's just doing single strokes, just to get your wrists and your forearms warmed up, so that, you know, when you're about to go and hit that first beat, you're not overdoing it and straining yourself with all that adrenaline that's built up, and you're ready to just explode, you know, out that cage there up the. But just try to warm up a bit. Right now, I'm actually dealing with bicep tendonitis, of all things, while we're not playing. It's just something chronic that has been over the years, so I'm just getting it taken care of now while we have downtime.
Yeah.
But it's, you
how's
know,
your shoulder doing,
from
Linda?
poor form. It's from poor form, from years and years and years ago, and overdoing it. Just, you know, you got to be very aware of your form, and you got to do the warm-ups. You know, you have to do something to warm up, or you're just gonna, down the road, it's gonna catch up to you. Trust me, I know.
How's your shoulder? How did that heal after surgery?
It healed up great. It's like at 98%, and I'll take it. I was in a car accident about 5 years ago, and I had some a rotator cuff tear and a slap tear. So I had to have surgery, and I was out for almost a year. That was so grueling, but I rebounded, no pun intended, really, really well, really fast. The doctors were very impressed at my recovery, because I was just so focused and driven that I am going to get back on stage, and I am going to play better than I was able to play before the accident, because now I have to. I'm going to. So I did all the exercises, and now I just have little scars, and that's it.
It's also because you're an athlete. It's because you're an Olympic athlete.
That's right. I was doing the P90X too right before that happened a lot, and I was in really great shape. And the doctor said that's probably what spared me more injury. They said when they went in that the muscle tissue itself was so healthy. Usually they go and they clip the whole muscle, and then they take it up here and they drill it up back into your bone here. But they said the tissue was so healthy, they just trimmed half and they left the healthy part because they didn't want to cut healthy tissue, and they doubled it up. So I've actually got double strength in my left arm. And
Ionic.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, I'm glad that you've healed up so well.
Thank you. It was emotionally, it was the hardest thing. Emotionally, the emotional part was hardest to deal with, more so than the physical pain, I think, because I could not play. I could not play at all. And that really sucked. You never realize how much you're going to miss it until someone says, you don't touch the drums for 6 months. You just don't do it.
That would kill me, I think.
Yeah, it was tough. But we got it, so it's all good. It's all good.
Awesome. So happy for you. I'm so happy that you get to do what you're getting to do. And hopefully we'll all be back on stage pretty soon.
Yes, we will.
Yes, fingers crossed. Okay, before we wrap this up, does anybody else have a question before we go? Yeah, Danny, go ahead.
So I'm muted now. Okay. Linda, have you met Nico McBrain so far? Because I saw, and did he somewhere comment on you and your band? Because I saw a video with Ian Pace from Deep Purple, and he commented on the female tribute band Strange Kind of Women. So that's a song of Deep Purple, and the song is called Strange Kind of Woman, and they are called Strange Kind of Women. So they are a female tribute band.
I'm gonna have
Ian Pace commented on the band, and has Nico McBrain did something similar?
He is very aware of the band. I met him several times, many times, and he's a funny guy. He took me to the Sonar booth and introduced me to his rep and said, "This is Linda. She's me." She's the female version of me. I think he was trying to escape the crowds that were just falling. It was towards the end of the day at NAMM, and he saw us walking down, and he was like, "Come here." I wasn't going to fangirl out, even though I was secretly.
Of course.
Yeah, he's really, really cool. He's really cool. They're well aware of us, and it's all good. It's all good.
That's fantastic. I love that. Anybody else before we say goodbye? Yes, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just whining that we have to say goodbye.
Oh no, somebody else. I don't see your name on yours. Yeah, you go ahead.
You're muted.
Yeah, you're muted.
Well, it's just that. Okay, so not so much a question, but you were talking about the injuries and how we are athletes, really. And so I'm actually a licensed fitness instructor also. So I think in terms of that nutrition, so you can take organic bone broth, drink that. That will help with all your connective tissue, help you heal. MSM and silica and collagen are just wonderful building blocks to keep you strong and supple. So
awesome.
there you go.
Awesome. Awesome.
Very good information.
Point taken. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, Linda, before we go, can you access the little chat area and drop your social media links for everyone?
Let's see. I'm kind of
if you put your mouse around the bottom of the screen, a chat will be right in the middle of the screen at the very bottom. Do you see
I gotta go, but Linda, I just want to say it's wonderful to see your beautiful face, and I can't wait till September.
Oh, chat, here we go. Yes, September.
Yeah, September. So much love to you and the girls, and hopefully I'll see you soon. And once that EAD arrives, you're welcome to come over and play with it.
Rachel, I'm going to be contacting you, so be watching for a PM.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
Bye, ladies. You all have a beautiful day.
Bye, Rachel.
I'm gonna go watch the Puppy Bowl now.
Awesome. Are you having trouble? If you do, then I will when I post this video to our group, I will yeah, it came up. Great.
That's for Instagram.
Okay.
Instagram. You know what? I'll have to
get it to me later, and then I'll attach it when I post it to the group. How's that?
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
That sounds good. All right, you guys, I'm going to let you go. I know some people are wanting to watch the bowl games and whatever else for tonight, so I'm going to let you go, but thank you.
For you all.
Yes, go right ahead.
What channel is the Puppy Bowl on? I don't care about the Super Bowl. What channel is the Puppy Bowl on?
I think it's on Animal Planet. But
it is. Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know what channel. So.
That sounds so fun.
Yeah. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here. We've got several other guests for this week. In fact, I get to be a guest. I have my friend LJ is going to interview me on Friday because it's my birthday and she wanted to interview me.
Happy birthday.
So yeah, that's going to be fun. So if you have a chance, that'll be on Friday. And I have a couple of other people this week. I'll have to look at the calendar because I don't have it all memorized, but I'll post it as I have been with all of the events. So I will see you guys hopefully soon.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, Linda, for being here, and for everybody else. If you guys have a suggestion of an artist in our group that you would like to see me spotlight, please PM me and let me know, and I will get a hold of them. How's that?
Sweet.
Awesome.
Okay. All right. See you guys later.
Tammy.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.